Well, hello everyone. Name is Marty, and I guess I'll start by introducing myself as the poster boy of the human yo-yo, especially when it comes to weight. I've done it all. I've done it all. This used to be me many years ago, and this is me 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, actually. That was a picture that was taken when they had this little contest at the gym that I joined, which $10,000 for the person who did the biggest change in 12 weeks. And during that 12 weeks, I lost 65 pounds. And I didn't win, but I guess the money was the motivation because it was only one of many successes that ended up being for nothing, I guess you could say. Over a couple of years, I remember 2 or 3 years in a row where, I lost 50 pounds from the fall to the spring, and then put the 50 pounds back on from the spring to the fall. Then again, lose 50 pounds from fall to the spring, and gain the 50 again. But then the third year, I didn't lose any weight from the fall to the spring, and in the spring to the fall, I gained another 50 pounds. So that was 100 pounds more, and that's how I ended up at that last picture that I showed you. And I lost those 65 pounds. A couple of months after, I did my first triathlon, did a sprint triathlon with my coach. And a couple of months after that, we did something for cancer, did 8 hours of cardio. Was in great shape there, and I don't know, slowly life came back to normal, and at least my normal, and I said that was 6 years ago. Well, last year, I was back at that weight that I showed you in the picture. And between that time, there was just a bunch of ups and downs, and I said I've done it all. I really have. I mean, I've worked with various number of nutritionists from the different gyms that I've been to. I've followed programs like Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig. I've done keto, ideal protein, intermittent fasting. Name it, I've done it. I've tried all kinds of different motivational tools. Like, for example, Unfuck Yourself by Gary John Bishop, which was a great book. It really woke me up at one point, and like everything else, it went great for a while, and then all of a sudden it's kind of forgotten because there's something wrong up here. And even tried that route, met with a psychologist for a while, which was helpful at first, but there's something that happens that just destroys it all after. And whenever I embark on a new journey, it's we often hear about athletes that are in the zone. They call it the zone, and I guess that's how I feel, because during that time, there's nothing I can do wrong. The exercise is there, the eating right is there, and it's picture perfect, and it goes well, and it'll last a few months, and then all of a sudden, I just have to. One little mishap just brings down that house of cards so quickly, and then I take off from one extreme to the other and just go binge crazy, and just, that vicious cycle, just go right back to square one, and I shouldn't even call it square one, I should call it square minus one or minus two, because often, like many people I'm sure, you end up being in the worst condition you were before you even started. So, anyway, 5 or 6 years ago, when I started that first big weight loss with the 10 G's, I met two people at the gym, which have become good friends of mine. My coach, Patrick LaBelle, and the manager of the gym, my Spanish friend. It's Roberto Campo. And he's probably the best motivator I ever met. Roberto just have a way of talking you into anything, actually, but not into something, into what's good. And And the reason it works is because he's passionate about it and he really cares. And it's been 6 years and he's still after me. He's still after me to bring down my weight. The picture I showed you is 375 pounds. And he keeps telling me, Marty, man, you got to come down to at least 300. And 300 wouldn't be a healthy weight, but it'd be a lot better than 375, of course. So he's worried about me, and I can tell. And as for Patrick, well, he planted this seed inside my head 6 years ago that he just showed me what I could do. I did that first challenge with him when I lost all that weight. He was my coach for my triathlon, the 8 hours of cardio that I had described. And I don't know, he just taught me so many things. He just showed me that if you put the bar higher, you reach for more, you'll get further. And I just love the guy. Love them both. They've been so much help. And so today, I'm back to square one again, or square minus 20. Actually, not really, because a few things happened a couple of months ago. Well, not a few things happened, but I'm sorry if this is confusing. But basically, I've been down many roads. When I was turned 40, my doctor kept telling me, well, your results are still good, but, they won't stay that way for forever. And you should start, act now, which, of course, I didn't. And then when I turned 50, my new doctor, we basically had the same conversation. Your results are still good. They're borderline, but they're still good. Don't wait. Don't wait till it's too late. And now I'm 53, be 54 soon. And, things have started to creep up, like many people. Can't be this heavy without having these problems starting to show up. So, not too much, not pressure. I've been lucky that way. Blood pressure's always been good. But a little cholesterol, little pre-diabetes, stuff like that. Normal stuff for a guy my size. But I do a lot of exercise. So I guess that's what has saved me. But I'm definitely too overweight. My doctor loves to tell me I'm in the obese morbid or morbid obese category. He says it about 10 times every time I see him to scare me, I guess. And it's never worked, unfortunately. But the problem is here. It's always been here. And honestly, I feel like an addict. At least what I assume an addict would feel like. Except my drug, it's not drugs, it's not gambling, it's not alcohol, but it's basically purposely doing what's wrong to not achieve what you want to achieve. That's auto-sabotage. And it comes from the way I eat. It's I'm addicted to eating in a bad way, and with purposely malnutrition all the way. And unlike someone who's an alcoholic or a drug addict or a gambler, you can't stop eating. I used to be a smoker, and 12 years ago, one day I just said, no, that's enough. And I haven't touched it since. I never even wanted it, but I know deep down inside me that I can't have one. Because if I have one, it'll be the beginning of the end of that journey of being a non-smoker. But I can't stop eating. And so it's different. I got to find a way to eat things that I enjoy, and but eat more healthily, and and do something, or find out how to get away from that side of me that just destroys it all once I get going. And for some reason, I think I've reached that point. And now I'm working with Atomic Habits. That's helped me put things into place. Unfuck Yourself. That guy's great. Great motivator. My coach, Roberto, he's still there. I'm not even paying for the sessions I have with him. We're friends now. We're buddies. So he's like, we talk every week, and he motivates me, and he keeps telling me well, when you start feeling that side of yourself that wants to take over, well, that's the time to reach out to me. But of course, when I'm in that mood or in that state of mind, I don't care. And I couldn't give a rat's ass as to where, about the whole thing. So I'm not going to contact him because I don't want to. And, but if I'm someone, obviously you don't know me, but I'm someone that's very generous with other people. I'm always there for other people. I've always had a tremendous respect for other people. And I kind of realized lately that I don't have that for myself. And especially my body. I seem to have absolutely no respect for my body. Every time it starts going well, I do something to destroy it. And for some reason, I don't want to do that anymore. And well, there's plenty of good reasons for not doing that anymore, but I really feel like I'm there now. And I think the best it's not even a weight plan, but if you ever heard of intuitive eating, that's the program I worked with my last nutritionist, and I believed in that concept. I really do. It's a great way of looking at things, and I saw that I like what's prohibited, and when you eat intuitively, nothing's prohibited. So all of a sudden, it loses part of its attraction. So and stuff like that, and it's intuitive eating is like the anti-diet program, and yet I still feel like I'm following intuitive eating, but I am still following a form of lost weight program at the same time, because one of the important factors, or there's 10 guidelines, is to take care of your body. And every time I look at something that's not good for my body, out of respect for my body, I don't want it. I'm not holding back from taking it. I'm not saying that I'm not allowed to have it. I simply don't want it because I've had enough. And why am I recording this video? Well, because I really feel there's a difference this time. And I figured this was, why not document this? So I've got certain goals. I've wanted to get down to the weight that you saw in that first picture for a long time. When I met my coach, Pat LaBelle, that I mentioned earlier, he had asked me how much weight I'd want to lose, and I weighed 375. I'd like to get down to 230 like I was in that picture. So I looked at him and I said, I'd like to lose 145 pounds. So he started laughing. I was like, well, what's so funny? And then he looked at me and I understood the joke. He said, well, that's how much I weigh. And he's a really fit guy, but he's not very tall, and he doesn't weigh that much. So so that became the big joke between him. So now it's like I want to lose Pat. I want to lose my coach. So it's kind of been this goal, and I was on my way to it a number of times, but all the rest, it's all forgotten and stuff. But I'd like to reach there. There's something special about that moment that I had with that guy, and him too. I haven't worked with him in a couple of years, and he still keeps track of my progress, and he still likes to hear when I do stuff right and stuff, and I actually kept the clothes that I wore on that first day when I met the guy, and we joked around that once I'd be down at 230, we'd get into that clothes together just to show the amount of weight that I've lost, that we'd actually be able to fit both into that pair of shorts and t-shirt that I was wearing that day. So anyway, so that's a goal, and it's far from now though. No, I tend to make these incredible goals short term, like very fast, because I need things to happen quickly. And I said before, I've been shown that when you put the bar higher, you get further, but it's also can be demotivating, and it could bring the end sooner too. So I tried to look at it as realistic as I could, and I'm looking at a year and a half. A year and a half. It's we're in June now. September of next year. We're in June 22. I started about a month ago in May, and in September 23, I'll be 55. So I have two goals for September 55, to be down to that 230 pounds and to complete a half Ironman. I've tried it twice. I didn't succeed. Always was too heavy. It was impossible in the weight that I was at. Last time I tried, I was like 330 probably. And I got disqualified for the swim. I couldn't breathe with my wetsuit on because it was too tight. I did the bike though, did the 90K, and I did about 16 or 17K on the run. I kept going when I was disqualified. Got my medal anyway. Felt I deserved it with all the work I did that day. But I still haven't completed the events. So until then, I have a lot of mini goals too. So I've broken it up as for the triathlon and for the weight. And the weight's like 10-pound increments. It's one goal at a time. Like my goal was 350, and that was a few weeks ago. So that's like 25 pounds. And I'm at 354. I'm almost there. Obviously, that first weight loss of 10, 15 pounds is all water. I'm the type of guy that does a lot of water retention. But yeah, so 10 pounds at a time, 10 pounds at a time, 10 pounds at a time. Instead of just going for 145 pounds, it's a lot more motivating. Another of these motivational help tricks or things to do that are working for me anyway. And I've done the same thing with the half Ironman. It's 1.9K in swimming. It's 90K on the bike, which I've done before. I've biked from Montreal to Quebec, which is 250 kilometers. I've done it 3 times for cancer. So the bike's not a problem, but the run, I've never been a jogger. I've never jogged more than a kilometer. And now I've got 21 to jog after 1.9 kilometers of swimming and 90 kilometers of biking. So the swimming is good. I can do it as long as I can breathe. And I just did 1,500 meters today. So 1,900 is not that hard to achieve. It's the run. It's the run. So that too, I broke it down in about 20 different mini goals. And the first one was to continuously swim for 500 meters, because I can swim for long distances, but it's with breaks and taking my time. And now I'm building up. So I broke down the swimming side, the bike side, and the run side, and all these different goals over the next year and a half. I reached the first one this morning, and this is what emptied this video and this idea to, document everything. Because when I get there, I'll be able to see all the different stages. I'll do this regularly as I move ahead and lose more weight, as I move ahead and train harder and do longer distances, and I start jogging and stuff like that. So anyway, that's it for now. Welcome. What am I saying? Welcome for the ride. I hope to. I know I should say I will, but I've said I will so many times that you're careful when you use those words. So many times I've said I will do this, I will get there then, and started off to get there, and then something happens and I don't get there. So I understand it. You should say I will do, not I hope to. But with the experience I've had, I have to be not realistic, but careful at the words I choose, because I don't want to go through that circle again. I want to change paths, and this is the beginning. So things have been going well the last couple of weeks, and we're going to keep going. So thanks for listening.